worth is not defined by someone else's approval. This is a truth that many struggle to grasp because society conditions us to seek validation from external sources. From the moment we are born, we are measured by how much we please others. As children, we are praised when we follow the rules and corrected when we step out of line. As we grow, we begin to internalize the idea that our value is determined by how much we are accepted, appreciated, or wanted by others. This mindset follows us into adulthood, shaping how we view ourselves in relationships, friendships, and even our careers. But the reality is that your value is not up for negotiation. It is not based on how many people choose you, how many affirm your existence, or how many celebrate your presence. You were created with purpose, with intention, with significance. No human being has the authority to determine your worth, because your worth was established before you ever had a chance to prove yourself to anyone. Yet so many people live trapped by the fear of rejection, the pain of abandonment, and the weight of disapproval. They adjust themselves to fit into places where they are not celebrated. They shrink their dreams to accommodate people who do not believe in them. They silence their voices to avoid offending those who are too insecure to handle the truth. They seek love, attention, and validation from sources that were never designed to sustain them. And in doing so, they forget that their worth was never meant to be earned. It was meant to be acknowledged. When someone walks away from you, it does not mean you are not enough. It does not mean you are unworthy. It does not mean you are unlovable. It simply means that person was never meant to be the measuring stick of your value. People leave for many reasons. Some leave because they never truly appreciated what they had. Some leave because they were never capable of loving you the way you deserve. Some leave because they were only meant to be in your life for a season. And some leave because they were afraid of the weight of your greatness. But no matter the reason, their departure is not a reflection of your worth. The mistake many people make is believing that if they had been more attractive, more successful, more accommodating, or more understanding, the other person would have stayed. They think that if they had just done more, loved harder, sacrificed greater, things would have turned out differently. And so they torment themselves with thoughts of what they could have done better, never realizing that some losses are actually wins in disguise. Your value does not decrease because someone fails to see it. A diamond remains a diamond whether it is placed in the hands of a jeweler or discarded on the street. Its essence does not change based on who possesses it. In the same way, your worth does not fluctuate based on who stays in your life or who decides to walk away. You do not become less because someone failed to recognize your greatness. Their inability to see your worth does not mean it does not exist. Instead of seeking approval from people who are blind to your value, focus on becoming the fullest expression of who you were created to be. Stop waiting for someone else to validate you. Stop depending on relationships to affirm your identity. Stop looking for external confirmation of what has already been established internally. When you embrace who you are, when you walk in confidence, when you refuse to settle for less than what you deserve, you naturally command respect. The right people will recognize you. The right people will cherish you. The right people will see what others overlooked. And even if no one else acknowledges it, even if the world refuses to celebrate you, your worth remains intact. It is not given by people, so it cannot be taken away by them. You do not need permission to be valuable. You do not need validation to be significant. You do not need acceptance to be enough. You already are. Separation often reveals true intentions. It is in the absence of something or someone that clarity begins to surface. When people are present in our lives, it is easy to assume their commitment, their love, and their loyalty. Their words may assure us of their devotion, and their actions, when convenient, may seem to confirm it. But separation, distance, and loss have a way of uncovering what was hidden beneath the surface. People can say they care about you, but what happens when they no longer have immediate access to you? Do they fight to stay in your life, or do they allow the separation to solidify the distance? Do they make an effort to reconnect, or do they use the space as an excuse to drift away? It is in these moments that true intentions become clear. Some people stay close because of what they can gain from you, not because they genuinely value you. They remain connected as long as they benefit from your presence, your support, or your resources. But when separation occurs, whether by choice or circumstance, their actions reveal whether they were truly committed to you or merely attached to what you provided. Relationships are often tested by separation. If someone genuinely values you, distance will not diminish their effort. They will find a way to bridge the gap, to maintain the bond, to show you that their connection to you is deeper than convenience. But when a person disappears the moment separation occurs, it is a clear indication that their presence was conditional. It was never about you. It was about what you represented in their life at the time. Separation does not just expose the intentions of others, it also exposes your own. It forces you to evaluate what you truly desire, what you truly need, and what you are willing to fight for. Sometimes when you step away from certain people, you realize that the bond you thought was unbreakable was only strong because you were the one holding it together. You realize that the effort, the love, and the commitment were one-sided. You were the one always reaching out, always fixing things, always making excuses for their lack of reciprocity. Separation shows you whether the connection was mutual or if you were simply pouring into something that was never meant to last. There are people in your life who will claim to miss you, but their actions will tell a different story. They will say they care, yet they will make no effort to reconcile. They will claim they want you in their life, yet they will do nothing to keep you there. Words mean nothing without action. If someone allows separation to create a permanent gap between you, then you must accept that they were never as committed as they claimed to be. Separation is also a divine tool. Sometimes people are removed from your life not as a punishment, but as protection. You may not see it in the moment, but with time you will begin to understand that some departures were necessary for your growth. There are relationships that would have drained you had they continued. There are connections that would have hindered your progress. There are people who were only meant to be in your life for a season, and when that season ended, separation had to take place. You must learn to trust what separation reveals. If someone truly values you, they will not let distance destroy the connection. They will not let pride, ego, or convenience dictate their actions. They will make the effort, they will show up, they will prove that their intentions were genuine. And if they do not, then you have your answer. You no longer have to wonder where you stand. You no longer have to question their loyalty. Separation has given you the clarity you need. Invest in yourself, not in proving a point. Too many people waste their time, energy, and potential trying to convince others of their worth. They live in a cycle of proving, performing, and persuading, believing that if they achieve enough, succeed enough, or become enough, they will finally gain the approval or recognition they seek. But chasing validation is a losing battle. The truth is, no matter how much you do, some people will never see your value. No matter how much you prove, some will always find reasons to doubt you. And even if you convince them today, they may change their opinion tomorrow. When you focus on proving a point to someone else, you place your power in their hands. You allow their opinions, judgments, and expectations to dictate your actions. You live not for your own growth, but for their recognition. And in doing so, you sacrifice your peace, your progress, and your purpose for a reward that may never come. The need to prove yourself is rooted in insecurity. It is the belief that your worth is something that must be earned, something that must be demonstrated to others before it can be accepted. But true confidence does not come from external validation. It comes from within. It comes from knowing who you are, what you carry, and the purpose for which you were created. Instead of trying to prove a point, redirect that energy toward building yourself. Invest in your knowledge, your skills, and your character. Become so strong in your identity that the opinions of others no longer shake you. When you pour into yourself, when you sharpen your mind, develop your gifts, and refine your abilities, you automatically become undeniable. The world cannot ignore the person who is disciplined, focused, and relentless in their growth.